Jeff Meacham Network's Multiverse of Media. For over 15 years, the recognized symbol of excellence and the standard bearer in coverage of sports and entertainment.
Hi there. How's everybody doing tonight? It is Thursday night. What the hell's today's date? February 8th, because the 10th is Saturday. Welcome to Meach's Musings across the Jeff Meacham Network, Multiverse of Media, all of our social outlets, and my shot is crooked because I suck. There we go. Yes, I'm pointing out my problems with my shot. Go fuck yourself over it. I don't care. That's 5-minute marks. I don't care. Anyway, hi, everybody. Hi, Dr. Nick, all the things. Good to see everybody. Hope everybody had a solid Thursday. Hope everybody had a wonderful majority of the week so far. We are approaching that weekend. It's about that time. You love to see it. The weekend's coming up tomorrow. Finally Friday, or damn near finally Friday. We will be free again. And the motor's going to be running for a wild weekend. And we'll talk about that during the shills because it is Thursday. It is time for the shill show. But before we get to the shills, let's talk about what happened out in Las Vegas today. Let's talk about what happened in Phoenix last night. And let's talk about what happened in, where the hell's TNA based now? Nashville, I think. Yeah, let's just talk about all the wrestling news. Let's do the thing. First of all, let me acknowledge everybody in the chat room tonight. Kat, it is always a pleasure, an honor, a joy to have you along for these crazy rides of mine, so thank you. Good to see Daniel in here. Good to see Matthew coming over from the other streams. Good to see Ram Jam, and good to see Matt Helms. And yes, I agree with Matt Helms, as I do every stream. Like, subscribe, turn on that bell. That way people can go ding dong like Bailey. And I'm going to go ahead and pop a top. No, I'm not drinking. I am shilling for the board member of TKO because I love this energy drink, by God. Anywho, so let's talk about the press conference. Let's talk about the WrestleMania kickoff. They were very careful not to label their press conference as the week went on, so I won't either. It was the WrestleMania kickoff at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada, where traffic is batshit because it's Super Bowl week and it's crazy up there. And the Super Bowl 58's at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, so it was nuts. And you know, the press conference kind of was what it was. I took some detailed notes where I had to. I actually took notes throughout the whole thing. Then I realized that everything before Seth Rollins came out was kind of freaking useless, if we're being honest. And that's no disrespect to Bianca Belair or to Rhea Ripley or to Becky Lynch, but nobody really. There were pops, there were cheers, there was fan interaction, but it really felt like we were in the appetizer portion until Seth Rollins came out for the main course of the evening. And unfortunately for Seth, it came off like Seth was the garnish on that plate, and he's the world heavyweight freaking champion, which is ridiculous. To King Mike's point, he seemed like a mid-carder out there. He really did. But it looks very much like we're going to have Becky Lynch versus Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania. Should Becky win the Elimination Chamber match on February 24th? Looks like it's going to be a thing. We don't know. Bianca's WrestleMania future is still to be determined because we know Bayley has made her choice of Io Sky for her WrestleMania earned opportunity at the Royal Rumble. So then Seth Rollins came out, kind of riffed very briefly for Seth Rollins and called Cody Rhodes out. Roman and Paul Heyman came out instead, acknowledged me. Roman said that Cody's indecision has taken that decision out of his hands. It's now Roman's choice. Roman chooses The Rock. Rock comes out, and I am going to puff my big old man boopy chest out big here and say, you just need to freaking wait. The Rock did not say jack shit on SmackDown a week ago or whatever it was now, nor did he really say anything until this morning on the Pat McAfee show when he really turned up the juice on the heat and the heel tendencies of the old Hollywood Rock, but with a little corporate twinge now because he is on the board, as we know. So The Rock, very, very matter-of-factly pointed out the Bloodline family tree. I thought that was cool as a history buff of wrestling. I thought that was freaking awesome. It was super cool to see that happen. And, I was kind of like, okay, I guess they're going to go with Rock and Roman, and I have to just be that guy and be okay with it. And then The Rock said the thing. He did the thing. He said, you guys have to recognize that my family is the dominant family, or him is dominant family, the only dominant family. And I was like, oh, that's a Cody trigger. That's a Cody buzzword. Sure as shit. Where's my mic? Where the hell's my mic? Ah, there it is. It's a prop. I don't actually use it. It just looks cool. Boom, boom, boom. All right. This is bullshit. And he said bullshit. He said the word. So friggin' cool. Anyway, Jesus Christ. So Cody comes out, says that he did indeed chat with Rock, as he stated on SmackDown, but he also chatted with others. Super. Yeah, a few things, Walter. A few things happened. Yes, quite so. Anyway, thank you for $2, by the way. Appreciate that. We all appreciate that across multiple media, so thank you for that. Anyway. And then Cody made his choice, and he chose Roman. I was like, yeah, man, that was great. Dylan, God bless Dylan. He's been so overwrought with schoolwork and everything. He completely conked out during the press conference. He tried to stick with it. Very much like the 2014 Stanley Cup final victory. It was just like, let him be, whatever. Although the couch was here at this point, or the love seat, whatever it was here at this point for that. Yeah, and Josh, they did it. I'm okay with the way it appears right now. But again, I've been saying it for over a week. Long game. Wait it out. Let it play out. Let it cook, as the kids say. Walter said it quite a bit during the DQ stream tonight. Appreciate that, Walter. Appreciate the plugs, by the way, for No DQ very much. Thank you, guys. I know I did a super chat for it, but I still got more plugs after that. So thank you to everybody at No DQ. And I do, again, apologize for my high sodium content comments throughout the stream, because I was in a shitty mood even before that stream started. It's been a very bad freaking day. But anyway, so Cody has now chosen Roman Reigns, and Cody and Rock had words, and Rock slapped, and I mean Stephanie McMahon level slapped Cody right across the face, knocked him down, if I remember right. And then pull apart, Pierce and Hunter and Aldis are up there, and everybody's pulling everybody else apart. And again, Seth's just kind of there, getting punked on by Roman, getting punked on by Rock. And then they go to the back. And thank you again, Walter, for the $2 super chat. Much appreciated. Thank you, sir. They go to the back with Jackie Redmond talking to, and she called him Paul, which I thought was pretty interesting. So you don't call him Paul on WWE programming. They call him Hunter or Triple H or whatever, but she actually called him Paul. So that was indicative of where we're going, I think. And as they were talking, Rock and Roman came by, and it had a lot of naughty words come out of the board member's mouth. Let him talk shit about my family again, over and over again. And it's like, man, they are leaning into Rock being this corporate, highfalutin asshole. And I'm here for every bit. I'm pretty sure that's the real Dylan sent me. Dylan sent me a reel from The Rock, and I can't access it, of course, because I'm on Instagram. So I will look at that in a second, bud, if you're watching at home. Because I'm in the studio, so he's not here. So I loved this, and I pointed it out during the No DQ stream. That was the super chat I sent in. I really think this was a pivot. I said I was going to give my thoughts. I really think this was another pivot. Aaron made a valid point. I don't think they anticipated the overwhelmingly negative response to Rock and Roman appearing to be the path. The people have been just viscerally angry over the last whatever it's been, 6 days now. Just ungodly pissed about all of this. And Cody not finishing his story. And, we could get a chamber tag team match. That was one thing that was brought up. And I don't know if I want that, but it could be a path they choose. Again, there are so many. We kind of went around the table a million times on this on Saturday Open Mic Night, and there will be discussion about the Open Mic Night this Saturday. I'm only doing this now because I am unable to be part of this Open Mic Night this weekend because I have a gig, and we will get to that in the short here. I really think that it was a pivot. They were not anticipating the overwhelming response in the negative to what happened on SmackDown with The Rock and Roman's confrontation. So they took the week. I don't think they saw it coming because The Rock has always been so beloved and so popular. Even when he was doing the Hollywood thing, people still cheered for him because it was in the context of the story. But, I'm going to try really hard over the next 58 days or whatever it is to not be that guy about it. But here's the deal, folks. When Rock went away in 2004 and didn't come back until 2011, I was angry about it, not realizing what I realize now, right? You guys are doing that to him now, even though he's back involved, even though he's here and involved in the story. Y'all, and I'm saying y'all because I'm part of it too, we as wrestling fans think we can just have all the cake and eat it too, and that's not the case. The Rock went away, we wanted him back, he comes back, and we're still hating on it. Like, what the hell? This is beautiful storytelling because, okay, well, we're going to be forced to cheer The Rock because he's back. No, they're encouraging us to get behind this idea that The Rock and Roman are above the WWE. They're above the business. And they're going to settle their shit their way. And this Cody guy, this Seth guy. By the way, I said it. I don't know if I don't know if I said it during the stream, but it sounded like he belonged across the street of the MGM Grand with an Emerald City green suit on. Like, what the hell? Did he like take a misdirection and like MGM and they go, no, you're across the street, bro, and didn't have time to change a suit? Like, what happened there? I mean, straight up Wizard of Oz, Emerald City green. It was funnier than hell. And Roman cracking on the cheese was classic for me. Anyway, they thought it would be okay with Rock vs. Roman with the title when people made it very clear we would accept it. Yeah. I thought that when they put the tree up, Walter, about having the bloodline have that, because that was a really cool. I want that like for a shirt or a poster, because people don't understand how truthful that part of the segment was. The bloodline runs deep. It's even pretty accurate on the Wikipedia side of things. So if you go look at that, how the Anawahis and the Maivia families, they gave Peter's real name on the tree. I didn't see it because my blind is bad, but I'll go back and look at it later and watch it back and get the thing. But yeah, the families have been blood bonded. That's what they call it. They made a blood pact, a blood bond generations ago, and they are family in Miyagi forever. And I think that's super cool. And I think that them leaning into it with The Rock just taking this path, making this choice of how he's going to go is beautifully written. And again, we still don't have all the answers. To your point, Matthew, where do we go with Drew? Have Drew and Seth face off now. I know we've kind of gotten that a bunch of times, but I'm okay with it happening again because it's the WrestleMania stage. And Drew McIntyre in a championship match on the big stage in front of people is cool by me. No, I 100% disagree with this. Roman going to Hulk means he's champion till September. His reign as the champion was already and has been stale, I will even say, since he beat Cody last year, because everything since then has been feel like we're treading water. So the only reason I'm more invested now, King Mike, is because of this wrinkle with The Rock and the wrinkle of he's involved in defending the family and fighting for the family. That was pretty cool. God damn it. Pretty cool to see Jacob Fatu and Trinity and the Snuckos and everything. That was really something truly special. But yeah, it's there are definitely more questions than answers. It's very much a Roddy Piper stream. Seth versus Gunther is intriguing. I just don't know if I want the Warrior Hogan moment for that match. Because I think Gunther beating a less than 100% Seth, unless the match is a banger, does neither of them favors, unfortunately. But if Seth can get the knee ready to go, I'm here for it. 100% ready for it. So there you go. Yeah. We'll see how it goes. It's going to be an interesting, bumpy road to WrestleMania. And again, where does the Mr. Money in the Bank cash in? So many questions that we still don't have answered as the WWE files out of Vegas and the NFL files in more, because there's no less traffic now. It's going to be even crazier now. So good luck in Vegas if you're out there. I'm not going near that damn city right now. Now, the other news in wrestling. First of all, great Dynamite last night. Hell of an episode of Dynamite. Loved seeing Sting and Darby Allin become the AEW Tag Team Champions. Steve Borden is a crazy man, 64 years old, doing balcony dives. He's a madman. I love Sting, but he's crazy. Darby's always been crazy. But I know I'm going to have the freaking a good chunk of the group on my ass for this. I don't care. I'm the boss. I can do what I want. That was mostly tongue in cheek. I loved the Bucks coming out there dressed in white, including white hats, because the nice guys always wear white hats, and just beating Darby and Sting to a complete, actual bloody pulp. So the white outfits contrasted with the blood. It was beautiful television. Absolutely beautiful. And now it's almost a guarantee that we have Sting and Darby taking on the Young Bucks for the AEW World Tag Team titles in Sting's last match at Revolution in Greensboro, no less. 36 years after Sting and Flair tore the house down for nearly 45 minutes at the first Clash of the Champions against WrestleMania 4 on pay-per-view. So much long-term story being woven in this, because you've got the Sting story. You've got the Bucks being jaded EVPs. You've got them very much going the same way the Rock's going with this corporate bullshit. I loved every bit of it. I'm sorry JJ didn't. I'm sorry that a lot of folks seem to have not liked it. And I'm gonna respectfully, because I love you, JJ, and I know how we both feel about Matt and Nick, but I thought that was great. Sting's son could beat each one of the Bucks with an anti-venom. Sting and Darby better win. I don't want to see the Bucks doing victory laps on Stingers. You know what? I think that term victory lap's been used just a little bit too much today, or the last couple of days. Just throwing that out there. Victory laps on internet wrestling. Like, okay. If it's a victory, sure. But anyway, I'm here for it. I'm here for it because honestly, if they're not going to go with Sting versus Darby, which I thought maybe would be the thing, kind of like a Michaels Hogan thing, but with far more respect, then might as well be a tag match with some legitimate heat, and everybody seems to hate the Young Bucks. So I'm here for it. That's my stance on it. I don't know a whole lot even now about the TNA news and the dismissal of Scott D'Amore in favor of Anthem's entertainment guy, Anthony Ciccone. It seems like it's just a case of Anthem being Anthem. I don't know if that's the way to go, because it's been proven in the past that Anthem going the way that Anthem wants to go and not letting nature take its course, if you will, has been problematic for TNA Impact Wrestling over the last decade. So I'm tentatively intrigued because they just relaunched TNA with D'Amore's enthusiastic, passionate victory, rallying cry, and now he's gone after being in the company for 20 years. It just seems off to me. It doesn't seem like there's any sort of Vince level stuff going on with Scott, and I hope that's the case because Scott's one of the good old boys of wrestling, but nowhere near as long tenured as some of these good old boys that are now getting rightfully raked over the coals. If you believe what you read on the in the internets, if you will. From all reports, it seems like the going statement is Scott knew it was coming, so it's not like it's this like what the hell. So maybe, but I tend to agree with what we've been talking about within the group and what's going on in the in the chat room. If Scott is a free agent, if I'm Tony Khan, I'm throwing money at this man's feet and getting him to book my women's division because Tony, it's slowly improving back to where it could have been at the outset of AEW, but it still has much work to do, many more miles to go on repaving that very gravelly road that the AEW women's division has become. So if I'm AEW, if I'm Tony Khan, I'm throwing more money at Scott D'Amore's feet than I even know what the hell to do with. I'm 100% serious when I say that. With Anthem, again, if you believe it, that Scott wanted to buy TNA, there's so many different variables out there. Scott D'Amore could, run the AEW women's division. If his executive standing is not at the point of Vince McMahon or his inner circle, he could fit in nicely with WWE as well. Scott D'Amore's got a great mind for the industry. I'm a huge fan of Scott's. I love Scott. I've met him a number of times. He's a great guy too, which is rare, right? So I would think, you know what? I like Mercedes, and I love people that like Mercedes, but that's a very valid point, Matthew. Tony should be spending more money on Scott D'Amore than he should be bringing in Mercedes Moné. I actually agree with that, and I'm a Mercedes Moné fan. I know people aren't fans of the walkout. I wasn't either, and weren't fans of her perceived reported attitude in that walkout. But you know what? You need somebody that can book the division before you start building the division itself. And yeah, you sign Mercedes, then you get Scott to book it. Money. But maybe that's just me. I don't know. Anywho, what we got here? Just as I saw one come in. I'm going to get the comments over here so I can see them while I will. That's another good point. Let I'm reading the other comments. Let Scott book Ring of Honor. That's a great idea too. Again, much like a WWE main event storyline, there are so many options. There are so many ways Scott D'Amore's path can pivot, and that's great. That's great for Scott. It's great for wrestling. Scott D'Amore is great for wrestling, so I think wherever he ends up will be good for everybody. All right. If for whatever reason the logos change or the background colors whatever change, I do apologize. Because I realize I don't have the graphics in where I need them. Oh, it's blue. It's pretty. If you lose my shot here, bear with me because we're alive, pals. Let's see what we got here. Did not touch on that, Josh, but I will go ahead briefly before we go to the shills. I'm okay with Brian being part of it. Again, I got to meet Brian at WrestleMania. I like Brian. I like I enjoyed the majority of what he contributed to WWE programming. So if he's part of it, cool. I'm okay with Mr. Geewords, as they call him on at free shows. I'm okay with that. All right. So let's go ahead and do the thing. Tomorrow, in addition to JJ's recap of Impact, which he got to watch before I went live here at the request of him and many others. They wanted to wait till Impact was over. So there it is. He'll be coming back tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern, along with all his other reviews for the week. It was kind of a crazy week with technology and weather, so catch up on all his archives over at the Costume Studios YouTube channel. Please go check those out tomorrow morning after his review on For the Love of Wrestling of Impact, TNA Impact. He and I and his father, the senior, Mr. Williams, will be on the Dad's Not Always on Wrestling, talking about our top 10 Beatles songs, because tomorrow, February 9th, is the 60th anniversary to the day, or the date rather, not the day. I don't know what day Ed Sullivan Show was on. We will be talking about the anniversary, 60 years of the Fab Four's first appearance on the Ed Sullivan Show, which made their career. By the way, yesterday, JJ informed me, and I think he informed us during the stream as well. Yesterday was the 60th anniversary of the Beatles landing at the airport that is now known as JFK International Airport. So really friggin' cool that the Beatles are still the Beatles after 60 years. I think it's really cool. We're going to talk about the Fab Four in depth tomorrow morning. That's all of a sudden. Okay, so there you go. So it's almost to the date and the day. Definitely the date, almost to the day. Pretty friggin' cool. Josh, very likely. Highly likely in all likelihood. It depends on myself paying off debts in time to head to Rebellion. Also, it's April 20th in Vegas. It's a little dangerous for me. Just throwing that out there because I don't do that, and a lot of people are going to be. So I might get back to the room with too much of a contact high to do a live stream, but we'll see. You never know with me. Stranger things have happened. So that's tomorrow. Saturday, of course, we'll be back live with open mic night as we do. 11 o'clock Eastern, 8 Pacific. JJ hosting and moderating as only the Renegade of Wrestling can do. So please check it out for that. As far as my reasoning for not attending open mic night this week, it probably in its entirety, unless I can sneak away, is Saturday night out at Yamava Casino, Rock and Brews to be specific. The legendary, reunited Quiet Riot will be there. And opening for them will be our buddies, friends of the channel for years, Paradise Kitty. So please, if you are in the area and for whatever reason you are able to do both, please come check us out over at Rock and Brews at Yamava Casino in Highland. The old San Manuel Casino. It's now called Yamava because sponsoring is a thing, or name rights are a thing. So please check us out. Sunday rather, during the Super Bowl, we will be our friends, the LA Dolls, featuring former primary Paradise Kitty member Ariel Belvalere, will be at the Topanga Social, much like they were last Saturday, from 7 to 10. And my friends Jesse Fury and the Sound, including another former Paradise Kitty member, Nikki Stevens, will be at the legendary Mint on Pico Boulevard in LA Wednesday night, February 21st. I don't have the graphic in here for the other group, but the Pinktastic Plastics will be at the notorious Whiskey A Go-Go coming up on next Friday, February 16th. So lots of stuff going on for the Meach outside and inside of wrestling. It's good stuff, good times. I think that's why the original founder's coming back. Again, the names are escaping me. I am so sorry to everybody that's involved with this show. My brain is fried, if I'm being 100% honest. I will say, this is the first show with the returning founding member. He's been gone with the band for like 20 years, so he will be there as part of this show at Yamava. And Paradise Kitty, myself, everybody involved, we're so excited So if you can be a part of it and do open mic night as well, please do. If you can't, go to open mic night. I need the money, so does JJ, for being honest. WrestleMania 41 in Vegas, possibly. We'll see. I'm here in Minnesota, but we'll see. We actually did do a the girls sang happy birthday to JJ during open mic night. I think it was, or maybe it was a different stream. But again, Paradise Kitty's thing is the Guns N' Roses tribute. But we'll get on that. Shane says, if I ever come out, I'd love to go to the Whiskey a Go-Go. I'll tell you what, I won't speak ill about attending shows at the Whiskey. Working the shows as a band or merchandise sales bands, it's a rough night. Load in sucks because it's a tight little space. So, but the Whiskey's got so much history behind it. You know, I can't say enough good things about the history of that place, and it's going to be cool to be back there next Friday night. So I'm looking forward to it. Never a bad thing to get comped, right? Gotta have friends in high places sometimes. Thank you guys again very much for all the love, the super chats, all the things tonight. It is much appreciated. Again, we'll be back tomorrow for the Love of Wrestling with JJ, 9 a.m. Pacific, talking about tonight's Impact. And then right after that, we're going live, the top 10 Beatles songs of all time on the Dads, not always on wrestling. This is Jeff Meacham. You've been watching the Jeff Meacham Network, and I thank you very much. Have a wonderful rest of your Thursday night, and we'll see you in the morning.
The Jeff Meacham Network's Multiverse of Media. For over 15 years, the recognized symbol of excellence and the standard bearer in coverage of sports and entertainment.